You know the struggle. So that's what we were doing on this occasion. We stopped in at the Blockbuster. And so went in, we found our movie, it was there, and came back out, and the car wouldn't turn over. And so, we do what everyone does when the car wouldn't turn over, right? Especially when you're a guy, what do you think? You pop the hood, and you're like, let me take a look at this, right? And so, I'm not a car guy like Ted, so I really didn't know what I was looking at. And but still, we were looking, and wouldn't turn over. So I ended up calling like AAA, and they come out, and he takes a look, and he says, "Well, I see your problem." He says, "Your battery leads, your connectors are super corroded, and so they weren't making a good connection with the battery." So there's one I found online of someone's car battery that's just got corrosion there where the leads make contact to the terminal post. And so that was what was going on with their battery, is the car just wasn't getting power because so much corrosion had built up on that connection. And so it wasn't making the connection. There was no power to start the car. And so, what the fix was in that moment was to take out the wrench and knock the corrosion off, okay, get it cleaned it, and then he had some goop that he used. You guys know about the goop, and he put it on the terminal lead to help it not build up corrosion in the future. And the car started right up and ran well after that. And so I learned in that moment, right, the light bulb comes on, and it's one of those things where you're like, there's a sermon illustration here, right? And so one of the things that we have to do if we're going to be connected with Christ is what? We have to deal with sin in our lives and the things that keep us from being connected to Christ. Okay, that's what sin is like. It is like that corrosion that gets on us, that God hasn't gone anywhere. He is still there for us. He still dwells within us. It's just we are not as sensitive and we're not receiving Him the way we should. And so we have to deal with sin in our life. Right? So what does James chapter 4 verse 8 say? Draw near to God and He will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. So James is talking to Christians here. Hello? He's writing to fellow believers, and he's encouraging them to draw near to God, because God is always ready to draw near to you. But he says to do that, what do you got to do? You need to cleanse your hands and purify your hearts. The word double-minded there speaks of like having two minds. One is set on the flesh and one that's set on the Lord. And it doesn't work. You have to be fully set on the Lord. And so we have to deal with the sin in our life.